Have you guys ever built anything that you're just like, yes, I love this thing, it's so useful, I'm so proud of it? Well, today on Bittner Built, I wanted to show you the thing that I'm so proud of, and it does a lot more than this. Let's check it out. So I use this standing desk all day, every day for so many different things. Let's count the ways. It can be an infeed table when I'm cutting something really long or a big sheet good. If I've been standing around in the shop all day and my legs are tired and I want to take a load off a little bit, I can sit down here and do some detail work. I can get the table exactly where it's most comfortable, and that way I can take a load off while I get some more stuff done. This is also my cargo cart. I can wheel this outside to my truck, raise it to the height of the tail bed, put on really large products, and wheel it back into the shop without having to carry something that's super heavy. Of course, it can be a desk. My wife comes out here all the time when I'm working, brings her laptop, sits down, and watches some TV while I do some work. I know that dog. My assembly table is 8 feet long, but sometimes even that's not long enough for everything. So it's really easy for me to be able to bring over this table, lower it down so that it's level with the assembly table. And now if I have something really long, I can put this guy right here. I also have the great opportunity of, if I have a really large sheet good that I need to break down, I can take a circular saw or a track saw, cut right here in between both of these, rather than using the foam method where you put a large piece of insulation foam and break it down. The foam method, I hate having to store the foam. So this, I just put a trough exactly where I need to cut and I'm good to go. And of course in the shop, I can use it as a tripod raiser. Do I really look like that? I'm using the drill press, but the bit doesn't reach. No problem, just hit a button, raise the table. One thing that I make a lot of to sell is a thing called a Ninja Warrior board. It's a really long piece of plywood that has a ton of holes in it. And so to balance something that's huge, really long and heavy like this on the little drill press stand just wouldn't work. So I needed a bigger surface that I would be able to utilize to drill all the way down. And even once I get down to the end, it's still long enough that I'm able to hold on to this MDF sheet that's 8 feet long. We can mount a fence with stop block and even have really good dust collection with this. Take a break to talk about my sponsor, SafetySourceSupply.com. They're a discount retailer of name brand, new in box tools at up to 50% off retail. They want their customers to be happy with their purchases, so they only want me to give completely honest reviews, which is the only way I'd be willing to do it anyhow. Honesty builds trust in the customer, and since they're a retailer, not a manufacturer, they don't care if I say something negative about a tool. If I think it's junk, they'll just stop selling it and sell something else instead. So if you're a tool lover like I am, I need you to know about SafetySourceSupply.com. Right now, there's a Milwaukee Red Lithium 5 amp hour battery that retails for $149 that they're selling for $55.99. Batteries are expensive, so when you see an amazing deal like that, you need to jump on it. Make sure you bookmark SafetySourceSupply.com. They change their deals all the time and are constantly getting in new products at amazing prices. I was a customer before they sponsored this channel, so I can attest to the phenomenal prices on this site. So go check out SafetySourceSupply.com. They are the source for the best prices of tools anywhere. So to build this, it was actually super easy and pretty affordable for what it is. I started by buying a leg-only standing desk, so it didn't have a top on it on Amazon, and that was $120. So that's a majority of the build that you see here. I assembled that desk, and I was good to go. I purchased 4 3-inch casters. Those were $7 each. I used about half a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood, so another $25. And the T-track on top. So overall, I'm under $200 for this build, and this is well worth it. After building the frame right here, I built these wooden boxes that go around the feet. I then made the top out of 1 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. I cut it to the shape that I wanted. I did a 4 foot by 2 foot, and I heavily rounded the corners just because I knew this was going to be all over the shop and I didn't want to run into sharp corners with it. After I did the single piece of plywood, I then put a second piece of plywood on top. Now, why I did this in this manner was this over time is going to get heavily used, especially right now. I had put some pressure treated wood on here that was wet, and so now it's kind of stained it and cracked it and the wood splitting and stuff. So it's really easy now for me to just unscrew this piece, put a new one on, and use a flush trim router bit to match the one below, especially for this area too. It also makes it easy for you to put the T-track on. All I did was put some little spacer strips underneath, make sure that the T-track was just slightly below flush with here. And then there we go. Didn't have to do any complicated routing to put the T-track in whatsoever. Since the legs are metal, I put neodymium magnets on here to hold my different accessories on here, like my T-track clamps to hold down my projects. For my waste plate, as you use a drill press, you want to be able to drill into a solid surface so that you don't have tear out on the bottom. What I did was I first had the bottom layer of plywood, which I only drilled a hole into so that you'd be able to pop it up from underneath. And then I cut a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square out of that one so that I can put this in, and as this one gets spoiled, I take another scrap piece of wood and put it right in, and it's always looking nice. I designed the drill press pedestal cart to exactly fit in between the legs of the standing desk, so I figured I'd show you this one too. Inside I have all of my drill bits on a sliding 2-tier shelf system. I keep a lot of my spare stuff like the drill press insert plates in here. Next I have pegboards that show all my Fastener bits, my hole saws, and a lot of my specialty bits. And I have another one of the 2-tiered sliding shelves where I have my paddle bits and all of my small bits in a container. And just kind of a junk drawer down at the bottom. So this was the best thing I ever built in my shop. If you have a small shop like I do, you know that you don't have room for 15 different carts and items for things. So when you can find something that's compact enough, that's multi-function, that can do a lot of things around the shop, it's worth its weight in gold. And especially, it's not that expensive for a shop built at under $200. So if you have a small shop, I really think you should contemplate building one of these for yourself. I think this is going to be the new flip cart type of thing. Just how everybody was doing those flip carts for a long time. This thing is amazing. I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. We're a brand new channel. I'm really trying to put out good content for you guys, and it would mean the world to me if you could do me a solid and help me out with that, especially if you stayed to the end of the video and you thought this was a cool build. Stay safe in the shop, and I'll see you in the next video.